Okay, today I'm going to show you some interesting sketchings. I have already sketching y equal to fx. As you can see, all the white ones is y equal to fx. And I'm going to using this curve to sketching y equal to absolute value of fx or y equal to f absolute value of x, etc. So let's start in the first one, y equals to absolute value of fx. So I'm going to sketch in this one by using the blue. Okay, so let's start. So let's say this is blue. Okay, so I'm going to using blue pen to sketch in this. So if the whole function to be absolute value, as I mentioned in the other videos, meaning you just keep the positive parts of the curve and the reflecting all the negative parts into the positive, like a mirror image on the x-axis. So you can see y equal to fx has asymptotes y equal -2. So meaning we're gonna have y equals to +2 in here, y has the asymptotes. And I'm going to just keep the positive curve, keep it, and the reflecting it on the x-axis for the negative parts. So it's going to be like this. So the blue is going to be your answers. Okay, that's the first one. Second one, y equals to f absolute value of x. So maybe I'm going to making this one as a red curve in here, red curve. Okay, so I'm going to using the red pen to do it. So if x to be absolute valued, so how do we change the curve? You reflecting all the positive of x onto the y-axis to the left-hand side of the x, and the original left-hand side of the curve gonna be removed. So you keep your positive ones and then remove the negative ones. So we keep the positive ones, keep it, and then remove the negative one, and then flipping the positive ones on the y-axis. So go to the negative side of the x. So the asymptote goes to here still, and this number is going to be -3. So that's y equal to f absolute value of x. Okay, we move on. Next one. What if we have both x to be absolute valued and also fx to be absolute valued, or absolute valued? So maybe I'm using this as a green, maybe. Let's do the green. Okay, so this is the green ones. So what do? We do both ones. So first one is the negative to be the positive y. So all the below the x-axis goes to the above the axis. Second one, all the right-hand side curve keep and the left-hand side remove, and the flipping the right-hand side curve to the left-hand side. So we're going to do both. I'm starting from the inside one. So firstly, I keep the right-hand side, flip it into the left-hand side. So I'm going to keep it, I do dotted, okay, keep it. And the reflecting on the negative side of, okay, that's -2. So keep it and reflect, that's the inside one, if it doesn't have absolute value outside. And then we'll have absolute value outside, meaning all the negative goes to the positive. So I'm going to flipping all the negative values of y to the positive value for y. So it goes to, then we will have y equals to +2 as your asymptotes. Okay, so I'm going to flip now. So I'm going to have these flipping, and that one will keep it. So that's your final answer, we keep it. And the next one also, we keep it. It was not symmetrical, I'm going to make symmetrical. And then we're flipping these on the positive side. Yeah, that's it. The whole green, not dotted, or the solid one is your final answers. Okay, the next one. Next one is a little bit different. As you can see, we have this time have absolute value on the y, not on the x, on the y. So I'm going to do this one in yellows. I'm highlighting in yellow here, yellow. Okay, so how are we going to do it? Firstly, because absolute value on y, meaning the right hand side of fx has to be positive, and the absolute value of y, I can change it into y equals to positive negative of fx, and also the fx has to be positive. That's the two things you need to remember by remove the two stroke from the y, because we can only do y equal to something something. So anything on the y, we have to simplify it, remove it. So we change it into y equal to plus minus fx, and also fx has to be positive. So from this point of view, all the curve below the x-axis going to be removed, and all the curve above the axis is going to keep it, not just keep it, because it's y equals to that part, and also y equals to negative of that. So I'm going to reflecting the yellow again on the x-axis. So I'm going to have things like reflecting like mirror image on the x-axis. That's it. So this is the answer for this curve. And let's move on. Next one. So I have two more here. As you can see, we have absolute value of y and absolute of y. Both absolute of y, we need to change it into y equal to something. So I'm going to do this one in maybe in red again. Let's do red. Okay. So firstly, you need to change it into y equals to plus minus of f absolute value of x. Okay, so I'm going to doing this now. So first of all is f of absolute value of x with f absolute value bigger than 0. So the negative part is going to be disappears, only leave me with the positive of absolute value of x here only. Positive only, because fx has been positive. And I'm going to reflecting this on the y-axis, since it's f of absolute value of x, it means reflecting on the y-axis. So reflecting on the y-axis. And then we have y equal to positive of this and y equal to negative of this. So negative of this means we're reflecting the whole red part on the x-axis. So that's the one. And that's the one. That's it. That's for that, and the number here will be -3. Okay, there's one more question here. Let's make different color again. Let's say this is the green. So I'm going to sketching this in green. So again, this one has y absolute valued. So I'm going to remove the two stroke of y. So getting y equals to plus minus of absolute value of fx. And this time, because it's absolute value of fx, it's already positive. So I don't have to restrict the absolute value of x. I just do positive of this and negative of this. So positive of this first. So absolute value of fx means everything below the x-axis, you're flipping to the positive above the axis, and everything was above the x-axis, just keep it. So that was above, we keep it. And the other one below, we're reflecting on the x-axis. So we get asymptotes at 2, positive 2. And then the other ones below the axis, reflecting again on the x-axis. So that's it. That's for y equal to positive of this. And if y equal negative of this means you're reflecting on the x-axis of the green. So I'm going to reflect it back to here. and reflecting here, and then reflecting this one here. That's it.